bakers and bakerettes, how are you doing? I hope you all are having a wonderful day, because as always, your girl Cassie is having a wonderful day. Awesome. Beautiful weekend. Couldn't be better. All right, guys. So, what are you guys up to? What's new in the world of creation? Well, I can share with you what's in my world of creation. Today, we are going to do a no-bake. It's hot. You already know. When it's hot, the stove does not come on. It has to be a major emergency in the summertime to get me to bake something in this oven. I try to keep it cool. All right? So this summer, I'll share with you a lot of no-bake recipes that I have. I may bake something, early in the morning so that the house can still cool off before the peak of the heat of the day. Play it smart. All right, so today we're going to do a no-bake cream cheese cake. It is going to be kind of like, it's whipped. You take your cream cheese and your half and half, and your heavy whipping cream. It's going to be like whipped. But some people call it like the cloud cheesecake. And also you can purchase one in the store, and I can't remember who it's by, but it's called, they say that it's a whipped cheesecake. Well, that's going to be what I'm about to make. The exact same cake that you can, cheesecake that you can purchase that's like whipped, right? No bake is the key word here. So we're going to start with 1 8-ounce block of original cream cheese. Now, a lot of times when I do a recipe, people will message me or email or put in the comments about how to make it this, how to make it that. If you listen to the videos that I put out, I always give tips either at the beginning, midway, or at the end, how you can modify the bake, no bake, prep, cook to make it your own. If you're a vegan, because I prepare a lot of vegan things. I eat a lot of the vegan foods myself. If you are diabetic, whatever it is, lactose intolerant, I always try, in all of my recipes, I always try to share with you how you can take that recipe and flip it, modify it, script it, twist it, and make it your own and make it work for you. All right? So when it comes to any cheesecake, not just this one, or any recipe that calls for cream cheese, if you do not want to use the Philadelphia cream cheese, and they're not a sponsor of this video, or any of the other cream cheeses, you can use like ricotta cheese. You just have to strain the ricotta. You can use sour cream. You can use Greek yogurt. You can use hummus. You can use tofu. You can use the Italian cream cheese, which is it's in the tiramisu. It's called the mascarpone. You can use that one. You can also use the Neufchâtel. You can use that one as well. So you can substitute any of the above for cream cheese. They will work. The only one you're going to have to strain is going to be your ricotta cheese. You got to take the liquid off, and you can even use cottage cheese. So those are some of the substitutions that you can use for any recipe that calls for cream cheese. Or they also have a vegan cream cheese if you want to make it vegan. There is a vegan cream cheese, right? So we're going to start off with the heavy whipping cream. So you're going to need 2 cups of heavy whipping cream to 1 8-ounce block of whichever cheese of your choice, mascarpone, tofu, hummus, vegan cream cheese, any of them. The ratio is the same. Ricotta, make sure you get all the moisture out. The ratio is going to be the same. And you're going to need a 1/2 cup of sugar of your choice, or whichever sweetener you would like. Now, you don't have to use pure cane sugar or white granulated sugar or the brown sugar. Whatever sweetener you would like to use, you can use that as a substitute. The same measurements. The ratios will be the same. And I'm not going to make a graham cracker crust because I have one that I need to use. I'm going to just use this one, and it is a 9-inch graham cracker crust. But if you would like to make one, you can see a previous video where I've made them, or you can just take one melted block of cheese, one stick of cheese, butter, one stick of butter, melted. You can also take 9 to 12, depending on the consistency of the crust that you would like. You can put them in your food processor, blend it up, and then if you want to add a little sugar, that's your choice. And then you can just simply place it in your pie dish and just mold it out into the shape of the dish, and you have a graham cracker crust. Very, very simple, all right? So we're going to take 2 cups of the, I guess it will help to open it, of the heavy whipping cream. And of course you want to whip this. So you want to place this in your mixing bowl. And in the mixing bowl, you want to make sure that you have your whisk attachment on, right? So you're going to put in your 2 cups. And I make sure my heavy whipping cream is cold. That's going to be the key, is to make sure that it's good and cold. You don't have to freeze it, but you want to make sure that it's good and cold. And I'm going to transfer 1/4 cup of sugar to my heavy whipping cream. You're going to need a 1/2 cup. 1/4 and 1/4 makes a 1/2 cup. So you're going to put 1/4 cup of sugar. And you're going to save the other 1/4 cup for your cream cheese, right? So now what you would like to do is you want to whisk your heavy whipping cream and your 1/4 cup of sugar until you get your stiff peaks. And it's best to do this on high. So I always turn mine on like a stir at first, just to kind of get everything kind of incorporated together. And then I'm going to increase my speed to a high. And you know, on the KitchenAid, they're not sponsored of this video, but you have new numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, and up. So wherever you consider high on your blender, that's where you're going to place it. I would say this is 2, which is stir, then you have 4. I would go with 6, okay? I would go with my 3rd speed. So I'm going to place you on a brief pause while I whisk this into stiff peaks. I will include you back in the video when we're ready to take our room temperature cream cheese, and we're going to blend it as well before combining the 2. So grab your favorite drink of choice, detox, a tea, water, whatever it is that's your favorite beverage, a snack that's healthy, and I will include you back into this no-bake shortly. Hello, beautiful people. I'm back. And I have whipped our heavy whipping cream and sugar to stiff peaks. Now we want medium stiff peaks because remember, this is going to be a whipped cream cheese, or what we call a cloud cheesecake. So you don't want it to be very stiff. You want it to be like a medium stiff, right? You still want that light, airy fluffiness. All right, so that's done, and I've transferred it to a bowl, and I've cleaned my whisk. Now we need to add our paddle to the mixing bowl, or to the blender. And to this you want to add 1 8-ounce block of room temperature cream cheese, and I've somewhat broken it apart. And you're going to add the remaining 1/4 cup of sugar, or the sweetener of choice. Now what we're going to do at this point is we're going to mix our cream cheese and sugar. We want it to be like fluffy cream cheese. We want it to be airy and fluffy, right? Because this is a whipped or a cloud cheesecake. So remember that. So we're going to turn it on, and we're going to allow it to, as I always say, stir. Just get well incorporated, introducing our cream cheese to the sugar. And it's just really breaking up the cream cheese. And if you allow it to come room temperature, it doesn't take long. So now I'm going to increase the speed because I want to whip this till it's really creamy and fluffy. And that's going to take about 1 minute. So I'm going to place you on a brief pause. I'm going to wrap up the speed on my mixer, and I'm going to get us there. Grab your detox drink, favorite beverage, healthy snack, and hang in there. I'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere. Now while you're whipping the cream cheese, and I know it only takes a minute, but what you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you scrape down the sides of the bowl, because you want to make sure that your cream cheese gets well incorporated and mixed well and creamed very well. So you do want to make sure, and I thought I'd bring you back in for this step, because this will be the step that most people won't think about, and then they'll be like, oh, she didn't tell us that. Okay, but make sure that you, in anything that you do, that you always scrape down the sides of the bowl and that you scrape down the bottom. Just making sure that everything's getting mixed and well incorporated together. Now, I did buy the rubber attachment to go on my paddle, which helps to scrape down the sides very well. But if you don't have that attachment, then make sure that you do this step. And then you want to release everything from your spatula back into the bowl. Right. So we'll start this back, place you on another pause, and I'll bring you back in when it's ready. All right, guys, we'll turn off our blender. We have our smooth cream cheese. Make sure that you release it from your spatula and also again from the sides of your mixing bowl and from the bottom. If you have that paddle on, it sure makes it easier. With the little rubber attachment, it makes it so much easier. All right, so now, the next step is that we're going to combine our whipped medium peak, medium stiff peak, heavy whipping cream, and 1/4 cup of sugar. We're going to combine it with our 1 8-ounce block of Philadelphia cream cheese with our other 1/4 cup of sugar that's been creamed. So we're not going to combine these, and I really need to get this off of here because I got to take the paddle off and put the whisker back on so I can whip this. So let me just go ahead and remove this while I'm working on it. And it makes it easier to get your cream cheese, or if you have batter or whatever you're working with, easier to get it off the paddle. And it comes off easy and quick. All right? So now, I'll just take the paper towel. I'll pull this off. And we're going to go ahead and transfer So make sure you get everything. All right. Add your whisk attachment back. And now we're going to whisk the cream cheese and the whipped stiff peak heavy whipping cream until they are combined. Now I just have it on a stir right now because I know you don't want to hear all this loud noise. So I'm going to place you on a pause. I'm going to allow this to come to the right consistency, and then I'll include you back into the no-bake cloud cheesecake. Hold on, grab those drinks, healthy snack, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, beautiful people, I have gotten into the consistency that it needs to be, and I've tasted it for the desired taste. If it's not as sweet as you would like, you can always add a little more sugar. If you want to have a little more cream cheese, then by all means, twist it, modify it, make it your own. You can taste it and see what you would like for you feel that should be added to it, and you can also, just grab a handheld mixer. You can whip up some more heavy whipping cream. You can blend up some more cream cheese with sugar and make it smooth. And then, or you can just add a little bit more cream cheese to it. Just make sure that you blend it and make it smooth and creamy before adding it into it. All right, so you can modify it. You can also add some fruit to it if you want to add fruit. Or you can save it for later for your garnish. It's perfectly fine. The joy in baking, no baking, prepping, cooking, it's pretty much, making it your own. So I'm going to transfer this to my 9-inch graham cracker crust. Now, if you would like to leave some of this to pipe it in and make like designs on the top, you may do so. I am not. I'm going to add mine to the pie shell because I am going to actually add, for each slice that I cut, I'm going to make it a little different. I'm going to add different toppings to it. So I will have a variety. Because you can add blueberries, you can add some strawberries, peaches, raspberries, any fruit that you have at home growing or have purchased, you can use it as a garnish. For each slice that you actually cut, you can make it different. Smart. People say, what are you having for dessert today? Oh, I'm having strawberry cloud cheesecake. Then tomorrow somebody said, what are you having for dessert today? Oh, I'm having blueberry cloud cheesecake. Didn't you just have strawberry yesterday? And their mind is like, I know she don't go home and make a cheesecake every day. No, I do not. I'll make one, and I'll have different toppings. Instead of just doing one topping, and then you're stuck with it even though you're tired of it after 2 days. There you go. Okay. So now, this is our no-bake cream cheese cloud cheesecake or whipped cream cheese cake, whichever you would like to call it. So now what you want to do is you want to take it and you want to place it in your refrigerator for 60 minutes. That's 1 hour, to allow it to chill and set. Then after that 1 hour, you want to remove it from the refrigerator, and it is perfectly fine if you serve it at that point. However, if you notice sometimes when you cut your cheesecakes, the crust, like that graham cracker crust, it kind of crumbles. If you don't want that, you can take it from the refrigerator, place it in your freezer for roughly about 15 to 20 minutes and allow it to kind of freeze and set. That way when you cut your graham cracker crust, it is going to come out whole. It's not going to crumble up. Right? So now we're going to place this in the refrigerator for 1 hour. And after that 1 hour, I will pull it out of the refrigerator and I will place mine in the freezer for 15 to 20 minutes. and let my crust kind of set. And then I will bring you back into the no-bake cloud cheesecake or whipped cream cheesecake, and we'll do the infamous taste test. So grab those refreshing drinks, a healthy snack of choice, sit back and relax, and wait on me to bring you back into this epic no-bake. I'll be right there with you. Hang tight. Hello, Creation Nation of Bakers and Bakerettes. We're still waiting on that cloud cheesecake or whipped cream cheesecake, whichever you want to call it. So I thought I would bring you back in because I always do this and I'll post a short, and I never really did on video. So I was going to show you what I've done. I had some heavy whipping cream left over, and it's going to expire in about another week. I can't think of anything that I'll be preparing in which I will need it. If so, I'll just go and purchase one. So I took that heavy whipping cream and I turned it into butter. Now what I did was, let me get a spoon here. I took the heavy whipping cream and I placed it in my blender, just like you're going to do it when you do the stiff peaks. Now you have options to add sugar or not add sugar. That's your choice. If you add the sugar, it becomes like the sweet butter, like sweet corn butter. So I just added the milk to the blender and I whipped it. It's going to go past the stiff peak phase. You're going to separate the butter fat and the buttermilk that's in that heavy whipping cream. You're going to separate them into two. You're going to start seeing little yellow clumps of what looks like butter to appear. Okay, and what's left, the liquid part, is the buttermilk. Now you can just transfer the buttermilk to a separate container, and then I scooped out the butter. Now I'm going to show you what the butter looks like. It looks like yellow, like little clumps of butter. And you can see there's a little bit of buttermilk that's actually pouring off it. There's a little, I left a little buttermilk in there so you can see it. You just separated buttermilk from butter fat, right? And then you can transfer the buttermilk to a separate container. Then what you want to do is you want to take your butter and you want to run it under cold water to rinse it, right? So let me run it under some cold water right quick, because you want to get the remaining buttermilk off the butter. So you just simply run it under some cold water, rinse it really good. The water's going to come out clear when all the buttermilk is removed, all traces. I would say probably about 3 or 4. It's taking me 3 rinses. So I would say do 4 rinses just to be sure that you've gotten all the buttermilk out. So if you run out of butter and you're preparing something and you need some butter, you don't have to run to the store to get the butter. Is my point. If you have some heavy whipping cream, you can simply make the butter. Right. So now that I've rinsed it, this is what the butter actually looks like. Very soft, just like butter. It's supposed to be. And then you can take it with a spoon, a knife, a spatula, or your hand, and you can shape it into whatever mold you would like for it to be in. If you want it square, triangular, spherical, if you want to do it in little pieces, however you want to do it, you can just simply roll it out or pat it out with the back of a spoon, and you have butter, right? So now you can store this butter for about 10 to 14 days in your refrigerator. It tastes better than the butter you buy at the store. Try it for yourself. Post a comment and let me know how it turns out for you. In the process of taking the heavy whipping cream and converting it into butter in your blender takes about 8 to 10 minutes, depending on the style of blender that you have. But you can take the butter out and store it in an airtight container, or you can take it and wrap it in some parchment paper and just store it in your refrigerator. And then you can use this butter just like you would use regular butter that you go to your store, your local markets, and pick up. So, tip for today, how to take heavy whipping cream and turn it into butter. So if you have something that's about to expire in your refrigerator, figure out how you can use it to turn it into something worthwhile, store it, use it, and therefore you are saving money, cutting costs. All right? So I just thought I'd bring you back in and share that tip for you, since there is a short that tells you how to convert heavy whipping cream into butter, how to make cream cheese if you run out of cream cheese, how to make self-rising flour, and all of the how-tos. They are in shorts on my channel. But since I was doing this and we're waiting on our cloud cheesecake, I thought I'd bring you back in and just show you what it actually looks like once you beat it for 8 to 10 minutes and convert it into butter by separating the butter fat from the buttermilk. Now, if you want to use the buttermilk, you can. You can use it as well. If you don't want to use it, you can just simply dispose of it. No problem. But now you've gotten 2 ingredients, butter and buttermilk, from heavy whipping cream. Or you can take the 2 and actually make heavy whipping cream. So it is a reversible process. So I'll place you back on the pause. We're going to wait on our cloud cheesecake, and then I'm going to bring you back in. So keep sipping. Hello, Creation Nation of bakers and bakerettes. Here with the chilled and set cloud cheesecake. So this is what it looks like when it comes out of the refrigerator. As you can see, very fluffy, airy, and it is set. Right. So now I am going to place mine in the freezer for 20 minutes, I'll say. I just want to put it in long enough to get the crust set, that graham cracker crust, so that when I slice the individual slices, the actual graham cracker crust will stay intact. Because if I slice it now, it's going to crack and crumble, which still will be good. You can just use it as garnish on the top. But I like to slice the entire pie and set it so it's all pretty. So I'm going to place it in the freezer and place you on a pause. And when it's time to be removed, I will bring it out and I will include you in the video, and then we'll slice it. So grab those refreshing drinks, a healthy snack, sit back, relax, and wait on the return. Hello, beautiful people. How are you? Well, here is the final product, sliced and plated, as you can see. And as you can see, the crust, let's see if we can pick it up, is intact. Didn't break or crunch. So that's what freezing it for about 15 to 20 minutes will do for you. All right. So now you can actually take it and store it in an airtight container. I just put the lid that came on the pie back on it. And you can store that in your refrigerator and serve it. And, oh, hold on, let me show you. I forgot something. I have some blueberries, organic blueberries. I have some strawberries. And I also have some Georgia fuzzies, some peaches. And I have some watermelon that I had cut out of the rind. And I have it in a bag as well. So today I'm just going to have a slice of the cloud cheesecake. But for each slice that I partake, moving forward, I will have blueberries on one, strawberries on the other, and then I'm going to slice up some peaches and put some peaches on one. So you can serve this any way you would like. Just make it your own. So now is the moment we have all been waiting for. Let's taste this. It's very fluffy and airy, as you can see when you slice into it. Very airy. Very fluffy, very light. You can taste the cream cheese. Perfect, not too sweet. And to me, it actually tastes better than the one you purchase at the store. I can't remember who makes it. I've had it before, it's pretty good. But this one is a lot airier than that one is. It's a lot lighter, much more fluffier. And I think that's why it's been given the name cloud cheesecake. As opposed to just saying that it's whipped. Okay. I think that's a 10 out of 10. Even though I was the no baker. Alright, so as always, I would like to thank you guys for coming along with me and allowing me to no bake your day my way. I'm always appreciative of you and your time that we spend in my favorite space, my kitchen. So, as always, let's give the gift that keeps on giving. Let's stay positive, motivated, encouraged, enlightened, and uplifted, hoping that those are passed on to others. Greet everyone with a positive hello, a warm smile, because you never know, you're probably making their day. And as I always say, in our society today, we have no unearthly idea, not an iota, not a clue, what trials, tribulation, toils, and burdens people are carrying on their shoulders from day to day. Whether it's a job they're unhappy with, or it's some family issues they're dealing with, or just personal issues that they're holding on to. We just don't know what triggers they have. So always, always, always stay positive, focused, motivated, encouraged, enlightened, uplifted, and inspired. And pass those gifts on to others. Thanks, guys, for spending this time with me, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.